And here we go, I guess. Okay, so we have SnapDr against MasterEc. Pretty balanced matchup in terms of MMR. Let me adjust things a little. No need for that here. Can just cast the match. Yeah, we have a Undead versus Night Elf, and first map is actually going to be Shallow Grave. So no one deciding to veto this. Hopefully Booster doesn't lag me in any way. Because one of the times when I had previously recently tried to use Booster, it was lagging me, which obviously sucks. So hopefully it doesn't do that here, because otherwise I might have to close it, and hopefully it doesn't like the stream or anything. But yeah, looks like we are a pretty standard build from MasterEc, going for the Renegade Wizard Camp, and SnapDr going for the quick Death Knight, most likely with a later crypt. Nice positioning of his buildings. Gets the block along the trees here. Fits his relics behind his altar. Pretty nice. Okay, so it is going to be the DK. And we got Keeper. Not too sure how common Keeper is at this level. I feel like it's more common at like high levels of play. I feel like most people or like the highest levels of play and stuff, but I think most people around 1600 1700 1500 1400, I think they actually tend to go Demon Hunter. So to see a Keeper is kind of cool. We'll see how well he can do with it. Looks like he's setting up to potentially get Lightning Shield, and looks like he is going to work. We'll be able to get it on these two creeps. Acolyte did not disrupt the Lightning Shield. He is going to get his Trance Purge though. Could have, and oh, he denied the troll. A little too much distraction from this Acolyte. Now he's not proccing the Lightning Shield. Hasn't ate a tree. One treant got purged. Oof. A little rough, but I mean, in the end, he's still getting the big chunk of XP. He's at 140 XP. He got the item and everything. He didn't actually lose things like a Wisp or Archer, so it's not a big deal. Little fake there. Ancient of Wonders comes out to save the Wisp. And he's going to actually drop a tree down right away. I think that can actually be quite a good choice when you see your undead opponent coming over to harass. If the undead opponent continues to just tech and not make extra ghouls. But it looks like SnapDr is making extra ghouls. So this fast tree could very well end up biting MasterEc. It's oof. It depends. It depends what he does with his ghouls. Right now it looks like he's just doing creeping. Maybe he has backpack. He does have backpack already. Might lose one ghoul. So got a little distracted there with his DK. Wasn't able to micro the ghoul in time. Got a short pause here. Overall, looks pretty even so far though. But if this tree continues to get up without any trouble, it could very well favor the Night Elf player here. So the next 2 to 3 minutes probably will be very telling of which direction the game's gonna go.
A player's forces are under attack.
Okay, game has resumed. Still has full rod. It's not a second rod though, it's just Just hasn't been used yet. Now he will probably use it. Oh, but there's creeps there. Not the best skeleton. One's already like almost dead. But he will get one of the level 3 rogues. Might have to coil it. He does, but it is the one with the item. So that's pretty nice for him. Cloak of Shadows can have some value, for sure. So we'll see if he decides to use it. Almost gets an archer. Might be able to. Oh, nice little block coming out. Run, little archer. Oh, that was so close. Like literally right here would have healed it, I think. And he loses a second archer too. Oof. Okay. So that's what I was saying. The next couple minutes will kind of decide how this game goes, and it looks like the Undead is coming back into it. Those 2 pickoffs of archers help a lot. It slows down the elf creeping, helps get the Undead's levels as well, and everyone knows when the Undead starts getting levels, they can overcome numbers advantage even with the elf having an expo. Okay, we do see a Hunter's Hall, so it will likely be Dryads instead of Mass Air or Mass Archers. Finishes the creep. Our Undead player adding a graveyard now, continuing to creep with his ghouls. I'm not sure if any... Okay, he does have a replenishment potion on this ghoul, which will be a nice pass over to the DK, because that DK is quite low. Double cloak isn't ideal, but you know, what can you do? Can't get every item, right? Elf creeping out his expo. Should be close to 3, but I don't think it's actually 3, right? Yeah. He should be actually it might be just enough for 3 with this level 4 creep here, right? Which would be huge for him. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it's actually still short. I think he's like 35 XP short or something. Oh, and it might even get coiled here. The Undead is right. Oh no. Undead's in a great position. He's almost level 3. I mean, the elf's also almost level 3, but generally you'd like to already be level 3 as the elf. Nice Detto there. Saves the archer and gets another 36 XP for himself. Lore's coming up. Demon Hunter on the way. Expo about to start entangling. So there are some good things for the elf still. But I will say the Undead definitely is not behind in any way. He has a lot of ghouls. And it looks like he wants to potentially make something happen with these ghouls before Dryads start coming out. And I think that can be a good choice. But these Dryads, like the lores were up pretty quickly, so his Dryads can come out fairly quick as well. He is going tier 3 already though, which is a bit adventurous. Usually you stick on tier 2 longer so that you can afford, you know, an extra couple Dryads, some heal potions, maybe a tower, Nature's Blessing. But he does have a defensive Ancient War, no Nature's Blessing though. And he will still have some Dryads coming out. So he might be able to make it. Nice Detto on a couple skeletons. He really needs to limit these numbers as best he can. Looks like the elf is just planning to dance around a bit here and try to pick off what he can. Which is a very smart move against these ghouls. Deny from the Undead. Keeping that Keeper away from level 3. I wonder if the Keeper would actually grab Treants here. Or if he would still grab Entangle. Because I'm not sure what would be better in this situation.
The town is under
Okay. Like the elf danced around pretty well here. Now he has a few Dryads out, and this is where you can actually start kiting well. If the Undead does not have Fiends or Orb, these Dryads are just too much to handle. Now, once you have a couple of fiends and an orb hiding behind your ghouls, then even though you can run in, get some hits off on these ghouls, the counterattack from that orb plus a couple of fiend shots, like, literally will drop half the Dryad's HP. Oof. Oh, close to a surround. Misses the surround though. Undead trying to run out. He does still have Talon Portal though if needed. But the Lich! This surround gets closed very nicely. Does need to be careful with his DK as well by passing that TP. He might lose his DK. Oh no. Oh my. Oof. That's always rough. Passing the TP and then losing the other hero instead is not ideal here. Oof. As the Undead, oh, he did go double slaughter though. So I feel like this double slaughter is the type of strategy where maybe even when you're behind, you can still come back, because if you just have a high enough abomination count, maybe with one or two wagons even, like if the elf overproduces dryads, you can just crush that. However, Master EC actually teched tier 3 very quickly. You know, he's a little greedy there. He didn't produce a lot of dryads right away. He went tier 3 right away instead. And it's actually going to work out for him, because now he can start getting bears. We have master training on the way. And with those bears coming out, this like mass A-bomb thing is not going to work nearly as well as he would have liked. Alright, Undead looking to just creep now. He does have his orb. Probably wants to start selling these cloaks while he's under 50 food as well. Extra 120 gold or something. Okay, he sold a bunch of stuff. He sold like everything. Oh, he passed the circlet to the Lich. Yeah. Building up that bank before he passes 50. Still needs a ziggurat. He is getting frenzy now. I do think his little ghoul timing wasn't terrible before, but it was the type of timing that isn't meant to end the game, so he probably just stuck around too long with it. Like, he didn't have frenzy, he didn't have orb. It was just like a tier 2 poking army where you just try to pick off some archers and then back off. But he stuck around too long, lost a few too many ghouls and his DK and TP at the end. So rough spot for him. Our Night Elf's in a great position on the other hand, except his wood economy is terrible. If he can start managing his wood properly, like he should really just start breaking 50 and pumping some extra wisps on wood, he'll be fine. But if he takes a fight here and starts losing a bunch of stuff, the elf might actually still be in trouble, because there are scenarios where you just don't have enough wood to start spending all this gold he's built up. But yeah, the elf should be way ahead. It's just Undead's hitting a nice timing where the elf hasn't managed his economy yet. Still way too much gold, not enough wood. And we see the dryads getting low really quickly. A-bombs with disease cloud, very hard to deal with. And these ghoul numbers have not been dropping yet. We do see one ghoul dropping now, maybe a second. But yeah, with this low count of food from the elf, it's actually tough to deal with these ghouls. You have to be very careful. Finally some level ups though. Level 3 DH will help a lot. We do have an illusion wand as well, but there is a destroyer in the air. One bear about to fall. I don't know, dude. This was looking so good for the elf, but a little macro mistake and suddenly he just doesn't have the supply he should. Needs to pick up Orb of Venom. That's the big thing here. If you're going to have... Okay, now he finally got it. If you're going to have this tier 3 tech, and so little units right now. You have to get that Orb of Venom as soon as possible. He might have been able to get 2 of them if he had picked it up earlier. But yeah, we see him still fighting. I do think if the elf can lower the health of the DK and get him to like TP out, he can still win this. But it's going to be hard because the DK, of course, has level 2 Unholy Aura, Devotion Aura, Invuln, TP. I don't know, dude. Yeah, that should be the plan for the elf. Get rid of the DK, try to get him to TP out, and then regroup and start spending that money. But oof, this is looking rough. Our Undead is in a great spot here. And it's just simply a nice timing from the Undead and a bit of a macro mistake from the elf there. He does still have his expo up. So, you know, a little light in the darkness for our night elf. He does still have 2 production buildings, but it's the wind and the lore, not double lore. The hippos will help. And yeah, just keep producing bears. If the Undead gives him time, the elf might actually still be able to come back into this. But as you can see, the elf still has 1700 gold. He's not able to spend properly. With the new Ancient Wonders though, he might be able to get second orb, buy some heal potions, try to make the Undead focus your heroes, and make sure the heal potions get lots of value. That's one way to go through your gold and still get value. But yeah, he should be producing bears at all times here. Going for a Dryad instead. I think with already a Dryad out and hippos, it's better to just get as many bears as possible. No Orb of Venom picked up. Little mistake there. But he's probably under pressure with his tree dropping. And I think it is going to drop. Honestly, the tree has mined what he needs. He just needs to be able to spend it still. Like if he can add, with this gold, another couple bears and another couple hippos, suddenly he'd be at like 75 food right now. He has 3 bears in queue and a hippo in queue, and he still has 700 gold. He can buy an orb right now, maybe a second staff, heal potions. I'm not sure if this is enough hippos for the destroyers, unless there's no web. If there's no web... Oh, there's no web. There's no web! Fighto! If he can pick off some of these destroyers, this is actually pretty good for the Night Elf. Do we have web on the way? We do not have web on the way. He hasn't started it yet. Oh no. Oh no. SnapDr. Okay, the Nova is doing work. The elf really needs to make sure these hippos just stay on the destroyers. He keeps pulling them back after the Novas, but honestly, you just need to get the destroyers down. If you take them out, that's huge XP chunks. That means these bears are fairly uncontested, and you can mow down the ground. They are kind of weak though. Would have been nice if he picked up a heal scroll, but the shop on the right hadn't been crept, and the Undead was at the other shop.
A player's forces are under attack.
If you can get a couple of rejuves here and not get them dispelled, could be in a good spot. Nice damage here on this destroyer while they were far from the heroes. But level 5 DK, level 4 Lich, pretty scary. And it looks like our Undead player is not going to give time to these bears to rejuve. And we do finally have web now. And now it's looking rough again. We do have a high count of bears, but with no hippos, no dryads, these destroyers are going to go uncontested. If he can pick off this destroyer so there's only one in the air, he could be good, but level 3 coil comes out and that destroyer is back to like full health already. Still, doing a decent job picking off some of these fiends, which will limit the ability to web. However, these A-bombs are really tanky. to take out, especially when there is destroyer support in the back to kill the bears while they are tanking. So still looking good for our undead player here. Elf finally did manage to spend quite a bit of his gold, but still has not got a second orb, and now his expansion's dead. Can't find the time to rejuve. It's looking rough for the Night Elf player. Another Fiend about to go down, but Keeper also pretty weak. And now with such high level nukes, level 5/5 DK Lich, this Keeper can die at any time with a Coil Nova once the mana gets back up. Night Elf just trying to back off here. Might attempt to get a rejuve off. But yeah, this is just a tough scenario where you can't really overcome the statues. You can't find time to produce units or heal properly. And then the statues just keep the undead in the fight. This Dryad comes out, but instantly targeted down. Already in red health. Night Elf not able to be past 50 food, and the Undead on the other hand is at 66 already. Coil Nova, and that DH just drops, dude. 100 health, like, instantly. Now, with some focus fire from the orb, there's just not much to really heal this anymore. Moonwell's pretty dry. It is night. But yeah, this is looking like the final moments for our Night Elf player here. We'll see if he can do much more, but it is just too hard to overcome this. Hero levels 4/3 for the elf and 6/5 for the undead. Oof. I know as the elf player he's probably going to be a little sad at himself for not managing his wood economy a bit better sooner, because there was moments where he had like 2k gold and like 100 something wood. So if that had been if that had been spent, our Night Elf definitely could have been in a much better position there. Okay, second map, Northern Isles, and we have SnapDr up 1-0 over MasterEc. Looks like he's going for the fast DK again. And the Night Elf is going to go for the Tuskar's first camp. So valuing that level 2 as well as big consumable rather than the permanent item. And it might just be DK against Keeper again. Or possibly Warden. Generally you would want Keeper or Warden if you're doing this creep route, because they have more benefit at getting mana items. I guess I can turn those off again. XD. Okay. It is going to be a Demon Hunter though. So for myself, whenever I go Demon Hunter, I prefer this camp because I like getting the permanent item. It's oftentimes better for a DH, but there is a chance you get a greater heal potion from here, and that can really allow you to do some cool things in the mid game where you can take damage on your DH and just pick off a bunch of ghouls with your first Dryad or something, or with a Naga coming out if you end up getting Naga second rather than Panda, things like that. Undead on the other hand, adding in the graveyard, so going to be some late fiends,
A player's forces are under
fast
attack.
DK, and good base build once again. He can block off here with his next Ziggurat. Rod and Dust, and looks like he's going over to rest. Acolyte keeping tabs. DH going to work here on the creeps. One mana burn tossed out just to speed it up. And we get Scroll of the Beast. So probably the worst. The only value with this is if you go like mass archers. But you generally don't go mass archers with DH first. And the Undead creeping in the meantime. Looks like he did it decently well, I believe. Should be able to use a second rod here if he wants, and then continue creeping. Acolyte manages to escape. Night Elf gets slippers now, so that's a good item. Undead teching. No second ziggurat yet, but Fiend on the way. So pretty passive game so far. Tech for the Night Elf as well. Slightly faster for the Undead, but I think that's normal. Usually the Undead can get their second hero Naga, for instance, slightly faster than the Elf if they choose to.
The player's forces are under attack.
And it is common to see a Naga second from the Undead if they know they're against a Demon Hunter. So we might see that. We'll see what he goes for. Another cloak for this Death Knight. Wand of Lightning Shield. Not too good. Yeah, pretty good items on the other hand for our Night Elf player. This is what you want to see. Claws, slippers. Well, except for this. This would have been better if it was a greater heal. An invuln would also be okay in the long run, although not too good early on until you actually have bears out, usually. And the Undead going straight for the middle. This is a bit adventurous, but he has lightning shield. Okay. That's a lot of damage. And the Night Elf's gonna spot it. I think he's looking to sell the scroll and buy boots. But the Undead is here. Ooh, that is rough. But yeah, we should see boots and scroll sold probably. But yeah, the Undead shouldn't be able to get this. Oh, he does have cloak, but like, oh. I mean, nice little, oh my god. Night Elf. Okay, Night Elf got the item, but the Undead did get the XP and got an archer to fall, although it was killed by the creeps. So nice little play there by SnapDr to make something of a terrible situation. But it did cost him a TP. He didn't get the item, but the XP is huge. He's only 10 XP from 3 now. And that is going to, of course, help a lot. We see tier 2 unlocked. Is he going to pick up the Naga in the center? Panda picked up for the Night Elf. It is going to be the Naga. No boots for the Undead though, which is a little scary for the Naga. Usually you want boots against the Demon Hunter, especially because the Demon Hunter himself did what I was saying. He sold his Scroll of the Beast, picked up boots instead, and now this DH could be roaming the map to start burning the second hero, as well as limiting the DK from creeping since the DK was low health. So that's what I'd like to see here, is the Elf keeping tabs on the Undead with his DH, making sure that the Undead can't creep freely. But he does need to get back to his base to heal in order to do so. Tier 3 on the way for the Undead. And double lore, of course, as well as tier 3 for the Night Elf. He still has his own gold mine to creep, but he will need to also take one of the middle camps or the scorpions to get level 3 on his panda. Okay, he is heading middle, but it looks like he's going to creep with his DH again. Not opting for... Oh wait, is he? Maybe he is opting for harass. Okay, he's going to scout. Sees that this isn't crept yet. Might even just take this though. He is going to take this. But DH continuing to creep. It's not terrible because levels do have quite a bit of impact on the DH. But you generally want to get your second hero Panda leveled up as quick as possible, while the DH slows the Undead and drains the Undead's mana. Especially because he has boots, like he's very mobile. And we have a little skirmish here. Archers can fall quite quickly here, but there is no mana left on the Naga, so no Frost Arrow coming out. But yeah, one archer down. These two Dryads are huge though, very timely Dryads here. And the Naga did end up picking up boots finally, but low health. Fiend now also going to be picked off. There is another TP on the Undead, but you really would not want to TP. Couple archers falling, but yeah, this is just not a fight you want to take as the Undead when your health and mana is that low and Dryads just arrived. Naga should be able to escape unless he blocks himself. I think. Yo. Oh my god. Why does this DH feel so much faster than mine? I can never catch up to a Naga that has boots. Okay. Another TP used. So it's looking good for the elf again at the start of the game, but this time without an expansion. Maybe he'll manage his resources a little bit better this time. It looks like he does have quite enough wood. So macro much more on point this game for the Night Elf than it was in the previous game. He has really good items overall. Periapt and Belt of Strength can be pretty good for extra tankability. They should technically be switched though. Belt on the Panda, Periapt on the DH, because Panda gets like an extra 6 damage from the belt. But you know, minor things, that's fine. But yeah, he also has Pendant, Slippers, Claws, now War Drums. Like, these are good items. Hasn't reached level 3 on his Panda yet though, so not the optimal creep route for leveling his second hero. However, his DH has reached level 4, and that will help a lot in the long run. DK and Naga also reaching some key levels here. Almost level 4 DK for that level 2 Aura. Almost level 3 Naga for that level 2 Forked Lightning. Orb and Lich online. Undead is about to hit a huge power spike after his literal next creep camp. So that looks like what he's doing. He's going to pick up an Invuln most likely. Maybe a TP instead. Okay, it is an Invuln. Heal Scroll. And now he's going to get his levels. And then he's going to be super strong. Elf, on the other hand, has reached level 3 on the Panda. No upgrades yet, but we do have an armor upgrade on the way. Destroyer upgrade on the way. Elf looking to find the Undead, it looks like. However, the Undead is only taking the orange, not the red. And they are going to run into each other here. Nice burn coming out though. Generally you do want to go for the DK, but I don't hate that burn because now the Naga doesn't even have one Forked Lightning. And that's actually pretty huge. Because you usually want to open the fight as the Undead with Coil, Forked Lightning, and Nova, like all on the DH or the Panda, and just get one of them staffed out. Sometimes on the Bears instead. We do see some focus on the Bears here, but very nice staff from our Night Elf player. And even though SnapDr has kind of hit a good timing with his hero levels, he just doesn't have the unit count yet. Maybe he lost a few too much early, had to buy extra TPs and Invulns already. This Panda doing work. One bear is going to fall, and a couple nice burrows coming out with both of them having less than 30 health. And the second bear has fallen, but there is no TP on the Undead. Lich falls. Third Fiend will not be able to get his burrow off. This is a scenario where if he hadn't lost one of those TPs earlier, a TP here could have been amazing, because he essentially got 2 bears without losing anything at the start of the fight. So that's where a TP can be amazing, but you know, sometimes you can't always afford the TP. He had to teleport when he was middle. He had to teleport again over here. He's bought 3 invulns now. So sometimes with all of this extra cost, you just can't afford another TP while still maintaining an army. And now it is looking really good for our Night Elf. Deciding not to do the Keeper and expansion play this time and instead going with the Demon Hunter Panda. We do see an Expo up, but it's, you know, that later 50-60 food expansion, not that, like, you know, 20 food expansion that's walking over when you're at around 30 food type of thing. Okay, we see some Dryads coming out. I mean, I think he does actually have quite a few Dryads already. Forgets the ring, but maybe his inventory is full. Double pendant panda. Oh my god, this guy's nuts. Oof. Nice little nuke coming out there on the DH, but we have rejuvenation and the destroyer's not going to stop that. So the nuke ends up kind of wasted, and now the Undead's mana is low. This is entering territory where it's a bit unrecoverable from the Undead side. Elf is close to level 5. Can almost creep this in the Undead's face at this point, just because the Undead does not have mana. And the statue is on health right now, not mana as well. No second statue. Okay, now it's arriving. Second statue, getting this mana back up is really his only hope. He needs to get his mana up and then nuke out one of the heroes. But it's going to be tough. However, there is only 2 more mana burns, so you know, maybe you can make something of it. Ghoul Frenzy on the way. Ghouls being brought. There is an expo about to start mining for the elf. Only 2 wisps currently on it. Wellspring upgrade. 01 upgrades as well. The Undead 1-0 upgrades. A little low on mana, but he's taking the fight. And with this Destroyer morph, full mana Destroyer right here. Maybe some Devour on this Roar as well. He could end up taking some of these bears out quite quickly. Couple Dryads, 3 Dryads have fallen, but the Panda level 4. Fiend about to fall as well. And I think 1 Destroyer fell. Next bear getting focused down. Undead doing a pretty good job at killing a lot of the elf force, but his own Naga does not manage to get the invuln. Also, I think he misclicked the invuln after because he thought it might have passed, probably. And yeah, now this is where the elf heroes can start to carry. And unless the Undead starts reaching like 5-3-3, it's really tough to come back against this sort of Demon Hunter with crazy good items in level 5. And we see the GG come out. And we have a 1-1 close series. Either way, they seem to have agreed on the host for this match. So we have our game 3. Score is 1-1. SnapDr once again going for the fast DK. And Master EC once again going for the common creep route. Very defensive Ancient of War though. So he's likely experienced 1 or 2 ghoul pulls here. But I do think you can still put it, you know, at least around here with your tree. I don't think you need it to be this far away, but something around here should be fine. Like, it might take a few hits of damage if they do actually try to pull, but it won't get canceled or anything. And as long as you eat a tree at the start, you'll be fine. Undead, same build as always. Acolyte, looking to find a critter. Usually there's a bunch in this sort of area. Yeah, we see 3 critters right here. Smacks that one down. Okay. And Demon Hunter once again 4-hour Night Elf. So no more keeper play. Going straight for the demon to start. Likely valuing that mana burn as well as play that does not involve an
Players'
expansion.
forces are under attack. Town is under
So
siege.
a little deviation from our undead here. This time getting second Ziggurat instead of Graveyard. So likely to see a little more ghoul heavy at the start. And then maybe add in the fiends later. Last game he got a pretty early Graveyard and only was on one Ziggurat before teching. So slight deviation. Elf on the other hand, getting up to that 21 food. Looks like he's going to produce an extra wisp. I oftentimes do this as well against undead and
Players'
even
forces
human.
are under attack.
Getting that 22 food wisp. 24 food archer. Before teching. And he did grab mana burn, so no evasion for this creep, but you know, it's small. Undead on the other hand, also just continue to creep. Ring of Protection. I actually think this is fairly decent for the Death Knight. You know, maybe something like Claws would be better later, but an early ring can be so good if you end up either tanking creeps, trying to kill an expo and having your DK tank, etc., harassing. I don't know. It can be good. And of course against Demon Hunter Focus Fire, right clicks from Naga second, etc. if there is a Naga to come. Yeah, looks like both just kind of going with their own creep route so far. Likely see them do the sort of standard level 3 creep route here.
A player's forces are under attack.
Elf, pretty decent items. Gloves of Haste and Slippers. I do think an item other than Gloves of Haste would, you know, be better, but it's not bad. It's not bad. And Slippers, of course, really good. Another 50 health. Very nice. We'll see if he picks up a Circlet or Boots.
Players' forces
Like, if any, it'll probably be a Boots, right? Ancient War already moved up. Fourth Moonwell on the way. Wonders, Hunter's Hall. Everything looks pretty timely for both sides. Undead reached level 3. This this little crab, I don't know what he's doing, but that is not your base, Mr. Crab. Why are you over there? That kind of sucks for the undead. Like that crab just slowed his creeping there. He was already level 3, so he could have just even not finished the creep, but getting that tome can have value, although it ended up being +2 agi. Oh, he's actually gonna try to pull the camp. I'm not sure. Ooh, I'm not sure if this is a good play. The elf's right here, bro. One ghoul goes down. Ancient War should be able to probably back off. Might need to aggro it with an archer. Okay, yeah. That was very expensive for the undead. He lost a ghoul. He lost lots of mana because he invested a coil on the creep, and then he got like mana burn twice or 3 times, like twice I think. Right? He's at no mana. Oh no, he is picking up the Naga, but the DH is right here. There is no boots on the DH though, but no boots on the Naga either. One archer about to fall. And I think a ghoul fell, right? Yeah, that was oof. I think if the undead still had his DK at like you know, full health and 250 plus mana or whatever, that could have been a good fight. You know, you could have got like a couple coils out on archers, pick them off, another frost arrow on a third archer. That could be like 3 archers dying. But with how the fight started, oof, that was a little rough there. Elf, on the other hand, lures both on the way and almost finished, and tier 3 on the way. So maybe looking to pick up a few dryads first rather than straight into bears, since he had both lures up so quickly. Yeah, 2 dryads right away. And we do finally see boots picked up on the DH. He's going to run out the DH just in time so the panda can get that solo XP. Scroll of the Beast, once again, not ideal, but you can still get some decent value from selling it. Undead, kind of just limited to creeping at this point. He needs to wait for his statues, tier 3, Lich Orb. Very good item though, Potion of Infold. And he also did pick up his own boots. DH coming into mana burn. Undead is just stuck with no mana for a long time now. That previous little skirmish really crippled the undead here. Oh, nice little blocks. Ghoul is going to escape. Is it? There's no cold tower, but yeah, you don't really want to dive in there and like lose a TP either. Might be able to get a burn on the statue. Oh, okay, he's just gonna run away, which is fine. Panda, little over level 2. However, he's unsure of what to creep, because these are not the best units for creeping the poison camp at the bottom right. And the center camp, you really want your demon hunter there as well to like probably mana burn and tank. So yeah, looks like we're just gonna have a little skirmish in the middle. And I think this is what the elf wants here. He went for heavy 3 dryads right at the start. He has a level 3 DH. He has abolish as well, so he can abolish these skellies. Does get 1. And this fiend goes down. Another abolish coming out. Mana low for the undead. However, a little bit of focus fire does bring these elf heroes down quite quickly. As we can see, the DH is already down to 250 health. But the DK also needs to watch out. Lich is here, but no orb picked up. So he will have to backtrack for that orb at some point. No rejuve available. I think he already used it on the DH. Yeah, DH already used it. But he does have bear form already. Ooh, these ghouls. Oh no, ghouls are falling. DK falling. Oh, nice TP. And he gets the panda. Oh my god. I think overall this was in favor of the elf until he lost that panda. Now it's a little more up in the air.
Forces are under attack.
Undead is still not in like a great spot because his DK is low health. He has low mana overall. But with these statues and likely just time bought while the elf waits for panda to come back, as well as level to 3. Like this undead is going to have a lot of time to just creep here. So if he creeps efficiently, he might be able to reach like 4-3-3 or at least 4-3-2 heroes. He has his orb now. Both sides probably will bank on 50 food for a little. We'll see if either decides to toss up an expansion or not. Looking like we're just going to see the Orb of Venom picked up and a Moonwell come out for the elf. These are great items for the DH. Claws plus 12. I mean, you would prefer Helm of Valor for plus 5 strength agi, because having that little bit of extra tankability rather than complete glass cannon DH is generally better. But, you know, this DH can hit pretty hard. Oof. Hopefully no disconnect. It said reconnected for a second. That's really awkward if we do have a disconnect. Yikes. Because this was actually a really close game too. I think both sides were in a decent spot. Plug pullers. It looks like we're even going to have same positioning. I am curious if the elf will put his Ancient War closer at all. Or even up here. Because the Undead did not pull last time. And then it would be funny if the Undead did actually decide to bring a ghoul over. But we did put it slightly closer, but not much. Yeah, oh yeah, this is still defensive Ancient War. This is like similar to where I would put it. I put it like here, or I guess where he has it. Yeah, it looks like both people going for the same build and pretty similar position of their buildings. So, you know, I feel like a little deja vu here. I've seen this before. Hopefully it ends up being a good game afterwards and no disconnect this time. That would be swell. Oh, chicken. Chicken, 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 chicken. Smack. Bill's Badman. So yeah, not much to say here. It looks like it's going to be pretty similar. The Undead slight deviation this time though. So last time he went for a second Ziggurat.
Player's forces are under attack.
And I believe more ghouls and stuff. This time he's getting a graveyard similar to what he did in the second game, rather than the second Ziggurat. And then he's going to tech, get one fiend, and then throw up the second Ziggurat after. So slight deviation. But I mean, honestly, most of his army is going to look quite the same. It just might be, you know, 2 less ghouls, but like 1 more fiend type of thing. So we'll see what happens. And Undead, same item with a ring. Elf, same item with a gloves. Like we're literally seeing the same game pretty much. Oh, does get the Acolyte, which I think he did last time as well. Tech on the way at 24 food once again. Tech on the way, Fiend should be coming now. And then a second Ziggurat after. So yeah, no, it is a little deja vu here. I've seen this before. Undead looking to keep creeping. He does already have a dust. I think he could have... I think you can actually not purchase this dust at the start. That way your Fiend and Tech and Ziggurat can come a little bit sooner. And then when you go back to your base rate now to pick up like a second rod, then you can pick up the dust, right? Maybe that's a small thing you could change. Okay, slight difference here. We have mantles on both sides. Probably more favorable for Undead, but the mantle can be good on both Panda or Naga second. Panda for extra mana, Naga for that +3 damage, as well as of course mana. Okay, no second rod picked up. So I guess he just doesn't make it back into his base to get the rod anyways, so maybe not picking up the dust didn't really matter if he wasn't planning to go back. Crab not running across the map this time either. You know, there's some slight deviations. Okay. Wand of Illusion. This can be an amazing item sometimes. We'll see how well he's able to use it. Does he pick up boots here? He does. I think last time he didn't.
Player's forces are
He wasn't
under
able
attack.
to afford the boots here, but this time he is able to get the boots before leaving the camp. Hunter's Hall, Ancient Wonders, tech, same tech timings as last game. And the elf looking to be aggressive this time with his DH, his level 3 DH. So he knows the undead is just doing the level 3 creep route on this side again, but instead of waiting for the undead to come across and try to creep jack him, he's just going to go across towards the undead. And we see a very good mana burn. Stopping that replenishment potion is huge. And now this DK, low health, no mana. Cold Tower is up though, will allow the undead to put in some damage here, but the elf has done his job. He's got what he wanted. He's created some space for his panda to start creeping. Maybe could have started this a little quicker, but overall, this is fine. And we see a Lich second now instead of a Naga, so another slight deviation here from our undead player. Slaughterhouse on the way. Scared of the illusion. So ended up being some good value here. Oh, Nova coming out. I don't think he realized at first that it was just an illusion. He's sad now. And now the real one comes in. Oh no. Undead, no mana, DK low health. Needs to be very careful with his DK, because if this bolt comes out from the golem on his DK, the DH is gonna run in against. Oh my god. Okay. DH ends up snagging the item. But I think the undead did get the XP, yeah. But he snagged the item, which is one of mana stealing. Even less mana for our undead player. So rough. Oh no, he's tanking the troll as well. He's gonna have to TP. Oh my god. Mana burn came out. Rough game for our undead player this time. Last game was definitely a lot closer at this point. Maybe the Lich and Faster Fiends not paying off like he would like compared to the Frost Arrow and Ghouls from the previous game. But he does have tier 3 almost unlocked. He does have statue coming out. And he has already rebought his DK, so you know, maybe he can still come back. But that is definitely rough. Panda going to have greater mana, Wand of Mana Stealing, and a mantle. So he's gonna have a lot of mana combined with a lot of mana. That's going to be rough. Once this panda hits 3, which he can like do off this camp if the DH pulls back. But it looks like he wants to potentially keep the DH here. Oh, he is pulling it back. Does get it just in time as well. Okay, so he just wanted to do some damage. Pretty nice. Panda will be able to get close, but will be just short. However, there is a green camp here, and the DH coming over to harass. Oh my god, I didn't see it, but he actually stole the item. I don't think he stole the... I can't even see it. I saw the DH going over there, but I was not thinking he would be able to get there in time. He actually stole the item, and he gets Pipe. Pipe would have been amazing for the undead. Being able to replenish your mana that much faster against an elf is huge. Ah. Yeah, now it's looking heavily favored for the elf. I think last game was slightly favored for the elf, but now this game's going to be tough. The undead is going to have to rely on high hero levels and their nukes, but he doesn't have the second hero Naga this time, so he doesn't have the triple nuke. And I don't know if he'll pick up a Naga anymore either as a third hero. He might, but I don't know. Elf, on the other hand,
A player's forces
oh
are
man,
under
look at this panda, dude. Pipe, mana stealing, mantle, even some evasion for more effective HP, combined with haze, mischance. Oh my god. DH coming in. Huge mana burn there. We will only have like one more coil if another mana burn comes out. And yeah, this level 3 panda going to put in work. See that damage on the statues as well when the breath hits it. Could try to get one more breath on the statues. Oh, even gets the fiend. Oh, this is just looking very good for the Night Elf player.
a player's forces are under attack.
Showing that Master EC pretty solid. Even the first game, if Master EC had macroed a little bit better, you know, didn't have 2k gold with 100 wood, he would have been in a good position that game. But both games he played DH as well. He's looked pretty strong, or technically all 3 games because of the disconnect game, right? But the Undead doing what he can. Like SnapDr actually doing pretty good with like bad scenarios he's given. So if he can not get in the bad scenario to begin with, he would actually be very strong. But he's, you know, every time he ends up with like low mana, low health, or whatever, he does end up getting, being able to escape and then immediately creeping. So good plays by him. However, this game, I don't know. This is looking quite rough for the Undead to come back. No disease cloud yet. They are going to find each other here.
A player's forces are
Bears are a little bit behind, which is going to be rough. But he is going to cancel the Expo. However, if he doesn't TP, he's going to lose the A-bomb. Yeah, now it's too late. The A-bomb is dead. Nice blocks there with the Dryad. And Master EC is already at 59 food as well. Whereas the Undead, 44 food after losing that A-bomb. He did get a TP. So maybe if he's able to pick off a couple bears and then TP out. Maybe. He did pick off one bear already. But we have Dust and he loses a Fiend in return. Still good for our Night Elf player overall, as this Demon Hunter and Panda continue to get leveled. Mana burn coming out here on the statue. Should have another Dust soon. Lab also nearby. Undead might just try to focus a bear and TP out. No, Dust came out already anyways, don't need a TP. Oh. Yeah, it's gonna come down to whether the Undead can get some nice pickoffs with his nukes while the Elf is unprepared. He really needs to pick off either a couple bears or a hero. But it's gonna be tough. He does have level 4-3, however, limited mana, limited army, and the Elf already at 57 food. This Lich hits pretty hard though. And the DK is pretty tanky, but losing the mana like that hurts. Only one coil available now, and no targets to really use it on, and he gets burned right at 75 mana. Oh no. He does have 2 damage upgrades. I don't know. I mean, obviously this is still looking good for the Elf. But with these 2 damage upgrades, and if he can manage to get his mana back up for some nukes, he could quickly pick off some units and then just back off again. But oh my god, this Panda. He got a Sobi mask as well, dude. Unlimited mana. I would say the one mistake here for the Elf is not using more of his Panda's mana. He has full mana with Pipe and Sobi mask. Oh, did he just miss staff? I think he staffed the wrong bear. 10 health. Oh no. Tonker. We got a Tonker, boys. I'm not sure if Tinker is the right choice here with the situation. But there is an expo coming up, so maybe he just kind of sensed that that was happening, and this Tinker could do pretty good. We got one armor upgrade, Ancient War coming in. But yeah, TP coming out. Elf wants to take this fight. We do have one nuke available, one coil, one Nova. And we got some chain morph. So for the undead here, I mean, personally, I think maybe Naga would have been better. But I think if the undead can like nuke a couple bears with this chain morph and then get out, like just TP out after. If you can do that multiple times, you can still have a chance. But otherwise, this elf army is strong. Bear's a little bit misplaced, a few in the back here. One bear dropping low, but Destroyer also dropping low. Nicely microed back though. And we do see some nice devours. Destroyer still full man out. One bear going down, but the lich caught too far forward. Also falls. And this elf army, a bit overwhelming. Honestly, there were some good moments in that fight, but yeah, this elf army is just super scary. He's level 4.5 for... Oh, did my booster turn off too? Oh, I think it turned off when they lagged or something. Kind of forgot. Feels bad now. The elf coming in. DH a little low, has no TP on him, and the staff is on cooldown. That DH could have actually died. But nice rejuve on the side. Will the Destroyer spot it? It looks like it does. It does get the Devour off, but there's no nukes to follow up. If he can pick off this DH, he can still make something happen. He almost has another coil, 10 more mana, but rejuve comes out once again. Has another staff for that bear. Oh. And the elf still holding on to his advantage. Undead, however, looking to still make things happen. Is getting very close to doing so with a couple of those bears that were so close to dying, the DH so close to dying, but getting mana burned once again is going to be really rough for the undead. He needs that nuke. Very nice blocks here from MasterEc. Which actually might get the TP forced here. Oh my god. Gets the TP forced. And will we see MasterEc push here to the expo? Or will SnapDr be able to kill this tower and then protect it? If the undead player can actually manage to get this tower killed and then like a Nerubian up, it could be good for him. He needs to be careful with this Destroyer. Oh no! Mr. Destroyer, no! Oh my... Wow. I don't think he is realizing at first just how much damage he was taking on that Destroyer. That is a huge loss. -5 food. And you really need that Destroyer because you need to pick off these bears quickly. Elf, on the other hand, expansion up and mining. Undead expansion is up, but not really mining. There's just one Acolyte there. He has a bunch queued. However, Elf is already here. Very nice dodge on that coil as well to start the fight. And the Undead's just low on mana. He hasn't been able to get his mana up, as oftentimes he only has one statue and it's on healing, not even mana. No second Destroyer. Well, now he just morphs one, but that Destroyer loss earlier as well, not allowing him to have enough damage to really take out these bears. Acolytes getting picked off as they come in. DH5. Panda still with lots of mana and mana items. Very good situation for our Night Elf player. Undead is getting close to getting some nice pickoffs, but very timely staffs overall from the Elf. Managing to save all these bears, and the Destroyers, they're all just 10 health, dude. One of them does get downed, and the Tinker may fall next. Will we see? Okay, he does get the Abolish and the Breath of Fire. Lich as well. That's kind of got to be it now, right? We might see one last little push, but without your Lich and Orb, without your Destroyer count, there's just not much you can do against this army. Does pick up the Lich again though. Has a mana potion. Lich does hit pretty hard. Looks like he's still gonna keep fighting, but the elf does have his own expo up. 69 food. Whereas the undead only at 44 with lower hero levels. Good coil coming out. Maybe you can pick off a couple of bears and get out, but oh my god, the breath of fire. Level 5 panda with that level 3 breath, that is just tough to out heal at this point in the game. Look at this damage. All the fiends dropping. Master EC ends up taking the 2-1. But overall a pretty close series. SnapDr very good at making a comeback in games where, or you know, not necessarily a comeback, but making the right calls after a bad situation would occur. You know, getting his creeping done fast, doing what he can to stay in the game. But Master EC ends up being pretty good at just holding on and closing out the game. So we see a 2-1 for our Night Elf. Master EC over SnapDr, aka Zizzo.